If you've been here a minute, then you may have heard about my partner, Vogel. His name's actually Vaughn. I call him Vogel. It's a nickname. Yes, I am aware it means bird in some language, but for 2022, I was setting up his bullet journal for him, and I'm also doing it for 2023, but today we're going to flip through his entire year in this book. The structure of Vogel's bullet journal is very much the same each month. He doesn't like to have too many pages, really. It's effectively just cover page, monthly log, and weeklies. But it was nice getting to try and set a bullet journal up for someone else and try different themes and stuff like that. But here you can see we have his nameplate page. I actually left this open so that he could write his own name in it, and he never did, so eventually I just put it in for him. But we've got that one. And then we have his year at a glance for 2022. This is actually the only page he wanted me to set up in his start of journal setup. So after this, we're straight on into January. Of course, when it got to later in the year, he recognized that he would probably have liked a future log. Not that he necessarily knew what a future log was, so we have put that one in his next journal. But for January, we went with a matrix theme. I honestly think this looks really cool on the blackout paper. So blackout paper cutouts that were just stuck into the journal and then using a green acrylic graph over the top. So we've got his quote page and then this like J cutout with the kind of like falling hiragana letters, which is kind of cool. Then we've got his monthly log, which you can see he utilized very well. It's fair, he didn't really use the monthly log on a lot of these, but that's all good. So again, more of the hiragana. We had this kind of like glitch box design, which I also used on all of his weekly spreads. So his weekly spreads for each week are pretty much exactly the same. So we've got the 8-box weekly, as I like to call it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a notes space. This little section off part at the bottom is supposed to be for his meals, or like dinner in particular, so writing down what we had planned for dinner on each of those, which means technically the notes box isn't supposed to get this line, but I made this mistake multiple times through setting up this journal. So you can see I put it on this one, I didn't put it on this one, so good for me, but same layout overall. I didn't put it on this one, all good, but you will see on later ones that I do kind of just bring it back every so often accidentally. I remember these little glitch boxes taking such a long time to do because you effectively have to like go in with your very small pen and draw all the sections, then color them all in. So that was time consuming, but I do think it looks pretty cool. For February, you can probably tell we went with a Pokemon theme. So we've got 2 of his favorite Pokemon here, and as a kind of like little nod to the fact that it's Valentine's Day in February, and he is my special person, like, I choose you. Setting up this Pokedex was kind of cool though. I like that I used the Tombow in like a light grey colour to add some shadowing on top of this red dot grid paper, which was kind of cool. All of the headers on this one, I was not prepared to draw the Pokemon font myself, so I did use cutouts. So this is just printed off the computer and then cut out and stuck in. Some of these are drawn. We've got like drawn in Squirtle, I drew in the Pokeballs, I drew in Oddish because Oddish is so cute, but I did stick in both Cubone and Mew because they were a little bit more tricky and I was running out of time because at this point we're like in the throes of start of year at school and that's just a little bit hectic. So monthly log, he did actually use this one, which was nice to see. And then we're into the weeklies, which all have that same style again. So I used the little Pokemon fonts here and then just wrote the day number underneath each of those. For notes, I just wrote in notes. So that one's good. Similar again. So some of these weeks didn't really use the journal, just fair. Life gets busy, you don't use it or you forget to use it. I know that using his journal is something that Vogel has like identified as a goal for next year because he always does feel better when he actually gets in and write things down, that kind of stuff. But I like also that he uses blue pen. You don't see a lot of blue pen journals. I think realistically he just uses whatever pen's closest, but it's interesting to see like him use blue pen where I am very much adamant on using black pen. For March, we were going with an Avengers theme. Rather than putting in a quote page, I decided to put in a list of the films that had been released up until that point. I think we did add in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which we haven't seen, thus it doesn't have a rating. But we have like the little infinity gauntlet with all of the different logos or, icons of our different heroes, which is cool to draw in. That one was a design that I found online and then recreated in the journal. Similar idea here, rather than putting in like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I just put in the little symbols for some of the Avengers. And I'm pretty sure he chose this quote himself, or maybe I chose it and he just really liked it. I can't quite remember. I can't remember who chose it, but I liked the idea that it was about list making in a bullet journal. So, March panel down the side with the kind of Avengers Marvel font, and then used that same font on each of the weeklies for these little like, letter boxes. Didn't put the divider here, good job me. So, did okay this month, it seems. You know, I'm gonna jinx it, there's gonna be one of them. I did find it interesting though that in setting up this kind of 8-box style, my preferred style is always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Vogel wanted the first 4 days on this page and then the second 3 days on this one, which was, you know, it's just interesting how like those things, they're not like huge changes, but if I hadn't have asked him before doing it, I would have just put them across the top and then along the bottom. You can see that to move things around, sometimes Vogel uses these arrows to say like, oh, I'm moving this one over here rather than rewriting it or something like that. And this is like, you know, oh, we swapped these meals, so we'll just draw an arrow. He also likes to tick things off at the end of a task rather than at the start, and I'm very much about ticking things off at the start, so that's interesting too. Here we go, that one's the last weekly for this one. And then in April we had an Aliens theme. And I know that Aliens is one of Vogel's favourite movies. So we have Ripley, and I don't know what the cat's name is, but they're there. We have the alien. This is actually a tattoo design that I found online, which I thought was very cool. So we drew that one into his journal. And then we have all of the face huggers, which look so, one, creepy, and then two, like if you look at the underside, it's just kind of gross. I think the thing is that like, because their legs look very, I don't know, finger-like, it just feels like there's like a flesh wound there. I don't know. And one of Vogel's favourite quotes, they're coming out of the goddamn walls. Obviously made use of his monthly this month, which is good. And then for each of our little, I don't know, letters for the days of the week here, I tried to draw a little egg, and it was supposed to look like an alien egg, but it ended up looking like a chicken egg. And he gave me a little bit of shit for that, but it's all good. I thought they were cute. So we got a lot of good use in this one, which is good. This was obviously a very busy week. There was a lot that he was writing down here. I think that, yeah, that was this part at least, and this part was a week that I was not here. It's like Jess went to the airport and then Jess came back, so. And then a very busy weekend it seems, wow. Followed by a much less busy week, or at least he didn't write the things down. He may still well have been busy, because I completely understand not writing things down when you're busy. For the next month, it was May, and thus we had to do the obligatory Star Wars theme. I mean, if there was ever a time I was going to do a Star Wars theme, it was going to be in his journal, because I'm not really like a fan of Star Wars. Again, made use of the blackout paper though, and we've got like the Star Wars font, and then we've got, that's not a moon, it's a space station. That one wasn't too bad. We have the little Star Wars doodles down the side here, which I thought were cute. Minimal use of the monthly log. I tried to kind of draw the Star Wars font myself on these ones. I don't know how it turned out, but like, I did it at least. These ones though, I did just decide to do print-offs for, because that was just a little bit easier. The problem though, with using as many print-offs as I did, is that because I was using them for the date covers for all of these, they're always in the same places. So this kind of section in the journal, especially when you get towards the back after quite a few months, really starts to bulk up. Because like, even though the paper is just cartridge paper, it's very thin, when you stack that many pieces on top of one another, it does start to get quite chunky. Star Wars theme for May though, that one was fun. Not something I do for myself, which is kind of nice, like doing these journals for other people. You get to try themes that you wouldn't do for yourself. For June, I wanted to do a Jurassic Park theme, because I'm pretty sure that the new movie was coming out, the new Jurassic World movie, and Jurassic Park in particular is another one of Vogel's favourite movies, but because I was super busy at the time, I just needed to use printouts for these. So I made a printout here for Jurassic June, and then one of the quotes from the movie, which I think looks pretty cool. I accidentally drew this line down the side and I was like, no, devastation, I've ruined Vogel's monthly log, but he's way less precious than I am. So he's like, oh, it's fine, you can just leave it there. I'm like, thank you, I'm so sorry, I ruined your journal, because I did it here too. Gosh, dang it. Yeah, I think the thing with this one is that I wasn't bringing the line all the way to the top. like I usually do. So I was like trying to stop at one row before I normally would. Not that this weekly, see, the weekly didn't even get a lot of views, probably because I did this line and he was just devastated. Even though I know he wasn't. I think I actually set these ones up quite late into the month as well, which is also probably why I was using printouts, because yeah, things just got really, really busy, but it's still cute, even if it wasn't necessarily set up before the month started. Did I put these dots on all of them? I think I accidentally put the dots on all of them, and then, you know, these ones were to house the numbers for each of the days of the month, and then I put them right next to the notes section. I'm like, okay, that's a bit unfortunate. For July, we were going with a Halo theme, but literally after drawing Master Chief here, I could not even do any more. Like, this was supposed to have a design, which obviously did not happen, and then I just did not end up decorating the monthly log either because I just could not. Again, we've got those printout headers though, because I didn't want to have to try and draw out the Halo font myself. It's a little bit more complicated, and I just thought it would look better, honestly, if I just printed them off. So we've got the different date covers here, which is all good. Good use of the journal. Good job, Vogel. Still very interesting that he ticks things off at the end of it. I always like the tick at the start, so I can like scan my eyes down and just like see all the ticks in the same column, but that's not how he likes to use his. It's all good. I'm very big on the idea that people use their journals in the way that actually works for them, so if ticking it off at the end works for him, then I am super happy. This doesn't make me so happy though. This was another month that was just like very hectic, and thus did not actually draw anything in. I did at least set up his monthly log, and I did go and put in the headers for each of the different days of the month so that he could write stuff in, but I didn't actually go back and do any proper decoration on this one. So you could say that there isn't really a theme in this month because I did not finish it off. Literally because there wasn't a header, I don't even know which month this is. I think it's August. I'm not too sure. I think it's August. Yeah, it would have been. For September, we went with another nice, easy theme. So we were doing kind of a black and gold moment with this washi tape from the washi tape shop. Very pretty. Instead of setting up a quote page, I was setting him up a kind of like taking care of me, tasks and notes kind of section, which he used half well. He didn't do the review, but that's fine because I mean, half the time I forget to do my reviews too, so that makes sense. For the September calendar, didn't really get a lot of use on that one, but that's fine, with a little notes space down the side here and more of that kind of black and gold decoration, which is so beautiful and shiny. And then flip over to that one. For the note section here, I decided to make it a little more decorative just to bring a little more decoration into the weekly pages because I didn't have decorative date covers. I thought it'd be nice to have some of the washi tape at the very least. So we've got those in the bottom corners for each of the notes. And I think I alternated between the black and gold. So the last one was black, this one was gold. Then we have the black, which I think I did with an acrylograph marker, just based on the finish of the pen. And the gold, which was also done with an acrylograph marker. Flipping on over, we have the last weekly of the month. Again with the black, pretty shiny washi tape. And then we're into October. Now, I know you're like, okay, that's super pink. That's a choice. Vogel specifically requested a Mean Girls theme. He actually very much likes the Mean Girls movie, which is very much a sense-making thing because it is so damn quotable. So when it came to doing the quote page, I'm like, I literally can't pick one quote. I need to do more. So we have a collection of quotes from the Mean Girls movie, and then the Mean Girls kind of like burn book cover, which I think is very cool. Of course, I did do a Mean Girls theme in my journal the year prior, which I think it was in doing that one that Vogel was like, yes, I want you to make me a journal, and yes, I would like you to put the Mean Girls theme in there. Damn, I'd rather see you out there shaking that thing. There was use of the monthly log. As I said, the monthly log isn't really something Vogel uses so much. We have Mean Girls Day, it's October 3rd, and then I thought it would be cute to put in 4 for you, Glen Coco, you go Glen Coco, because it's the 4th. For each of the date covers here though, I decided to do a different kind of like style of lettering. Down here is where I stuffed up though, that is supposed to be Wednesday, but whoops. And I know that this month in particular, Vogel didn't like that he didn't have the numbers of the days of the week, at least on this first one. So I didn't put those in randomly, but then I did do it for the next. I think I went back and I numbered them, but then I forgot to do the first week. So at least he had the numbers in there so that he could use those, which, you know, on the days he used his journal, I'm not actually salty. I get it. So we've got the end of October and then we're into November. And this is another theme that Vogel specifically requested. This is a Zen garden type theme, which I think is just so cute. I think it turned out really well. This one is a recreation of, I think it's Kotsi Art or Kotsi Bujo. I can't remember their account name, but on the actual setup for November, because that one does have a video, which is linked in the description box, I've got links to all the inspiration that I used for this one. We did have another kind of like self-care, taking care of me page. Not that that one got used, but that's okay. I will whip him into shape so he uses those next year. I won't actually. There will be no whipping. We have the monthly log with some use. Little bamboo, which is quite cute, and then just nice simple date cover type things on each of the weeklies. Nice and easy. I very much enjoyed using this style of font last year. I used it a fair bit in like his journal and Rachel's and my own. Just think it's like, it's very simple, but it's also kind of decorative. It's a little bit more special than just a regular all caps font. So coming to the end of November, and we're into December. As you can probably expect, December, another very busy point of the year for me. So when it came to setting up Vogel's journal, I asked if he'd be okay if I just used some simple stickers. We decided on these ones because they were kind of like a homely feel rather than a very much like Christmas feel. So it's like a hint of Christmas, not overly aggressively Christmas. So we've got a notes and task list for him to use because like we've still got like at least a third of December left, so he might use it. Nice simple cover page with the wreath. We have the currently untouched monthly log, but at the time of filming this, it's the 18th. So we've got like 2 full weeks pretty much left. There's hope. I liked all of these stickers. I thought that they were very cute together. And then there's just like these ones here, which their scale doesn't really match the scale of these ones. Like it's just like jumbo chair that can like take up the majority of your kitchen space, but I think the stickers are really cute though. For each of the date covers on these, I just drew these kind of like little pine decorations because they were super easy to do, very chill, and the colors kind of matched nicely with those stickers. And I stuck this one here in particular because by the time I was setting it up, I think that we were already into this week possibly, and he hadn't written anything there, so I just stuck a sticker on it because I'm like, might as well chuck some decoration in there, which is all good. And then we've got our current week and next week and then the week after. And we of course do have some extra pages in the journal, just a couple of extra spreads because Vogel didn't want any start of journal setup type thing. As said, it was a fun challenge getting to set up a bullet journal for someone else, and thank you to Vogel for letting us flip through his journal. I am excited to set him up another one for next year, and hopefully, because I'm not going to be teaching for half the year, there's more of a likelihood of us actually getting some more Vogel Plan With Me's up on the channel. If you wanted to see some more awesome bullet journal flip throughs though, the playlist at the top here is where they're at. Or if you'd prefer to see Vogel's bullet journal setup videos, then the playlist at the bottom is the one for you. Click or tap on one of those and I'll see you over there.